Sam felt a large pane of glass shatter against his back, followed by a brief moment of weightlessness before he landed hard on the concrete sidewalk. Fragments of glass ground into the thick fabric of his canvas coat, and he felt more than a few of them bite through to the skin. His body rolled with the momentum of the fall, sending his feet over his shoulders. A moment later, he was lying face down in the gutter, gray snow and runoff clogging his nose and mouth.
"I don't want to see you around here anymore. You got it?" The voice came from a large man who stood in the center of the broken window, just inside the bar. His shoulders were broad, and he had a chest that seemed to be built from spare barrel parts. There was an intense fire in his eyes, as if hatred burned somewhere close to the surface. The man clenched his jaw, and even though his face was covered in thick stubble, Sam could still see the muscles beneath it ripple. "I don't think he heard you, Repo," said a much smaller man behind him and to the right. "Maybe he needs to be told again." "Shut it, Joey," barked the man called Repo. Joey quickly shut it, backing up slightly for good measure. He was a weasel of a man, easily outweighed by his larger friend 2-to-1. His face had the tired look of someone who had run too hot and fast most of his life, and there was very little of him left to show for it. Sam lifted his head and spit out the filthy slush. He could still feel bits of sand on his tongue and lips, grateful for once that the town had already blown through its salt budget for the winter. The split in his lip hurt more than enough without a bath in cold salt water. He glanced at Joey, but quickly shifted his gaze to Repo. Joey wasn't the problem. Joey was just a loudmouth with a big friend and very little courage. Repo, though, needed to be watched. "No one talks about my girl that way," the big man growled. "I didn't like you the minute I saw you. You picked the wrong town to wander into, buddy, I'll tell you that. I don't know what you got away with before coming here, but you ain't gonna run your mouth off about my girl." Repo had earned his moniker because of his evening job. By day, he and Sam worked together for a home builder. Sam preferred the detail work inside the houses, while Repo spent his shift on back-breaking labor better suited to his physique. And by night, the large man worked with a local savings and loan, repossessing automobiles from delinquent account holders. While most people in his profession worked clandestinely, Repo had a reputation for instigating confrontations with the people he took things from. Sam struggled to his knees. The pieces of glass that were embedded in his coat shifted and tore at his flesh as he bent, then eased off again as he straightened. He could feel the blood pulsing in his lower lip where Repo's fist had connected moments before, and he ran the back of his hand across the cut. There was a lot of blood. "Repo, I'm not making things up to trash talk your girlfriend," he pleaded. "She's running around behind your back, man. You gotta believe me." "Believe you?" Repo's voice was thick with sarcasm. "You said yourself you got no proof. Either you're the one out poking her on the side, or you're making it all up. I'm guessing you just want to chance at her yourself. So you're trying to split us up, unless you got some proof, that is." The burly man's expression shifted from hatred to contempt. He knew Sam had no proof. Sam wished he did, of course, but he had nothing to go on except what he saw in a vision. No photos, no letters, no nothing. Claiming that his only source of proof was a waking dream wasn't going to satisfy a man as dense and untrusting as Repo. "You know I can't prove it," he replied. I just know it's true, that's all." Repo closed both hands into fists the size of Christmas hams. Veins stood out on his bare forearms, and he leaned farther out the window. The noise of laughter, loud music, and clinking glasses drifted out from the room behind the man. "If you don't get out of town tonight," he intoned through gritted teeth, "I swear you'll be staying a lot longer than you ever expected, and I'll make sure they never find your body." Sam exhaled with frustration. He didn't want to leave town, not yet anyway. "Why'd you have to go and open your mouth, Sam? You always think you're helping people, but you only end up making things worse."